Welcome to the Cellercise program tonight. Appreciate your being here. Please reach out to anyone you know who might be interested in knowing what we can do to strengthen and improve our feet. We're going to be talking about foot health, and I'm going to be sharing some problems that people are headed toward that often don't even understand or know that they're doing it. And then what we're going to do is talk a little bit about how to mitigate that, how to improve the quality, flexibility, and strength of our feet. And then over the next several weeks, we're going to be working from the bottom up instead of from the top down. We want to encourage you to have your Cellerciser out because I've got a program we're going to go through which I call the wake-up call. It's just really basic, a good program to help you prepare for the day so the body is ready. And I think we should all do it, especially as people are getting older. Because as people get older, they lose flexibility in the tissue and in the ligaments and the tendons and the fascia, and they're more prone to injury. Even when they wake up to stretch, they wake up and they start to stretch, they think they're doing themselves some good. And unfortunately, far too often, even with athletes, the muscles and the ligaments and the tendons are not warm enough yet. They're not circulating well enough to be able to handle the stretching. And so even though we think we're doing something that's beneficial, we can actually, if we don't approach it correctly, it can be detrimental. So we'll talk a little bit about how to approach that so we can have a better experience with regards to flexibility now and as we continue to age. Okay, so got some dad jokes, so the kids might appreciate these. But what sort of snack do feet like? Any ideas? Wait, Catherine here today. Okay, Doritos. Doritos, okay. Why should you never go into battle barefoot? You'll get defeated. Okay, another one. What do frogs wear on their feet? Open-toed sandals. All right. Why were the feet in love? Because they were soul mates. All right, we'll stop there. Okay, review. Sarah writes, she says, I got my Cellerciser a month ago. In regards to the person who asked about facial sagging, I have experienced the opposite. I had runner's face with jowls, and they have tightened up, almost gone. Thank you, Sarah. And again, Cellercise eliminates the jarring effect, the impact of running on a hard surface or doing aerobics on a hard surface. And the jarring effect accumulatively over time is going to take far more out of the body than it's going to give you in return. What Cellercise does is it eliminates that ballistic impact to the body and to the cells, but it creates a G-force, so without damaging the body, it can help the body become more resistant. Candace writes, I had jowls and marionette lines from my nose to the corner of my mouth. I recently realized that they are just about gone, exclamation point. If I keep hydrated and drink lots of water, they are completely gone. I am 58 years old, so this is very exciting for me, and thank you, Candace, for sharing that. Nancy writes, we have two now. I share benefits and the fun of working out with everyone. Really, until you try it or make a serious decision to stay committed, many just think it's a bouncy kid thing. So far from the truth, but kind of fun, like a bouncy kid thing. Thank you, Nancy. And, you know, I want to comment on that because over the last couple weeks, I've had several comments. There's a lot of units out there on the market, and I mean lots of them, and they look the same very often, but they don't perform the same, as most all of us know. But we want to get this out to the rest of the public. So hopefully, if you like what we share tonight, you'll share it with some of the people that you know. But our mat material, that's not typical. It can look the same, but as you know, or most of you know, that mat material is unique. It is a polypropylene where every fiber is put under nearly 200 tons of pressure. You're not going to stretch it out, which means when you're standing on it, your feet are well supported. They're not going to pronate on you. If you alter the angle of your body, it's not going to throw you off like the typical rebounders can. In addition, we have a unique spring system. And people say, well, I'll just get a cheap one. I say, I understand, but if you don't have enough resistance and movement, you don't get the benefit. You have to have resistance to cause the cell membrane to want to fortify its membrane, to get stronger. The muscles, ligaments, tendons, skin, collagen, etc. You also have to have the resistance to move the lymphatic fluid, and to backflush valves, and to break up sticky blood cells. And so all these movements up and down, on the Cellerciser, because of the spring technology we have, the steel is so strong, it doesn't stretch out like typical springs can. And as you move up and down, the energy you put into our tridaptable spring design, that spring absorbs that energy and then it returns right back to you. I have my personal trifold Cellerciser. It's 22 years old. I still demonstrate with it. I travel with it. It's in great condition. We have many of our customers who have had their units 25 years, and they say the same thing. So if you're going to invest in something that you want to work, I hope you try. You give the Cellerciser, just give it a try. See what happens. See what kind of results you get. Christina writes, "Thank you for fixing my account. I'm back on your app." And we're going to do a little app routine tonight. Love my Cellerciser. I'm back to bouncing like before, getting back into shape with muscle and getting rid of cellulite, flattening my abs and loving the free facelift. Thank you, Christina. Nancy writes, "I really can feel the difference when I Cellercise and when I don't. I just purchased a second one to have my sons because I babysit 4 days a week and it's too much to cart back and forth. Plus, the one at home, I'm encouraging my husband to become regular on, exclamation points." I tell everyone about it, but it's up to them to want to really feel better. I am so blessed in my mid-60s. No prescription drugs needed or suggested except a thyroid because of a removal, but maybe I could even get rid of that. Thanks so much, Dave, for your classes too. Thank you, Nancy. Peggy writes, "I received mine a week ago and love it. The bungee style was causing pain in my ankles and feet. No pain with this at all, exclamation point." And Peggy, thank you. And what she's talking about is when units are too soft, number one, you don't have enough resistance. But number two, the feet over time, if they don't have good support, they turn in and they pronate every time you land. And over time, you begin to feel that on the joints and the ankles and the knees. And with the Cellerciser, it resists pronation. Joan writes, "I've been using mine for more than 10 years. Great quality, makes you feel amazing. And my grandkids love it too. Best investment ever." Joan, thank you, appreciate that. Bev writes, "I know it does seem expensive, ugh, but when I bought my Celli, I used the financing they offer on the Cellercise site and paid monthly. It made it fairly painless. I've had it for 2 years and I won't be without it now. I Jump Instead is a great channel on YouTube that I watch for inspiration." And thank you, Bev, and thanks to Sally and Stephanie, the work they do too. Carrie writes, "Dave is the most honest and humble human being. He is straightforward and you can trust him at his word." Thank you, Carrie. That's appreciated. Formed by Nature writes, "Cellerciser is the one-of-a-kind, hands-down best fitness equipment on the planet. Thank you, Dave. Been jumping a year and all I can say is all capitalized. Wow, amazing." Formed by Nature. Thank you so much. Incredible tight tone. Oh, okay. All I can say is wow, amazing, incredible tight tone. All of that's capitalized. Happy, blessed, thankful, and grateful, grateful. I jump twice a day, 20 minutes in the morning and 11 minutes before bed. Good for you. That keeps the lymphatic system clear. That keeps the circulatory system clear. It helps to break up inflammation. It helps to create balance. You feel better. So that's great. Thank you. Debbie writes, my 96-year-old father-in-law, that we fondly call Papa, has had issues with maintaining his balance. He had the desire to improve his balance. He's 96. I love it. He had the desire to improve his balance and welcomed exercise to improve his strength. I had him try out my Cellerciser, and although he needed assistance and was a bit wobbly getting onto it, he liked it so much that he purchased his own unit. That was a number of years ago. And now he can mount, complete his routine, and dismount without assistance. Wow, using it faithfully every day has greatly benefited him with improved balance. Due to his example, he has encouraged several family members to take their Cellerciser out of hibernation and get bouncing again. We hope that no matter what your age or physical condition, that you will experience the benefits of rebounding with joy. Be like Tigger and keep bouncing. These are all genuine customer reviews. I have not read any of these. This is my first time. It's been a busy day, and I can't thank all of you enough for being willing to support and share and make a difference in the lives of those who are all part of the Cellercise family. So thank you. Diane writes, Evan, even a few minutes a day, several times a day makes a huge difference. Just jumping up and down has changed my life. And I start the day this way. It elevates how you feel for the rest of the day. Thank you, Diane. I want to share something with you on that. Cellercise, when we're preparing, we have that's our physical fitness, and we deal with that a lot. There's also something called mental fitness, and we don't deal enough with that. One of the things I'd like to have you consider doing when you do the wake-up call in the morning is to get on the Cellerciser and think of a good thought. Think of something positive. Think of, this is going to be a great day and I'm looking forward to it. Or think of somebody that you can send a blessing to. And while you're Cellercising, moving up and down, the cells are transmitted and receiving, send out a kind thought or prayer. If you have someone who is challenging you, I'm going to give you a secret. Okay. You can call it karma. What goes around comes around. Or do unto others what you would have them do unto you. It's the same principle. So when you're dealing with somebody that's been negative or hurtful, send them a prayer. Ask them that they may be blessed. It's not just what it does for them, but what it does for you and the character of the person you're going to become. When you send out a positive, inspirational thought, and you think a positive, inspirational thought, and you're Cellercising, you're challenging your brain activity because you're moving up and down. The impression at the bottom of the bounce is stronger on the brain than it would be if you weren't bouncing. But your ability to become your greater potential, because you're bouncing up and down and you're saying, hey, I'm feeling better and better every day in every way, or I hope and pray that so-and-so will have a blessed, good day. Think of what that does for you. If you're dealing with an illness, you're on the Cellerciser and you're seeing yourself as being made whole. So I am grateful that my immune system is functioning stronger and stronger, and I'm overcoming any physical challenges. That's a positive statement. That's a positive affirmation. I'm sure there's challenges that every one of us have in our lives. If you identify what the challenge is, and then you think of something positive toward overcoming that, do it while you're on the Cellerciser. Do it first thing in the morning. It sets the stage for the whole rest of the day. Often we wake up, what do I have to do today? What do I have to worry? What am I worried about? What are the things that you're dealing with and contending with? Work at finding something positive. If it's a prayer, great. Do a prayer of thanksgiving or just praising. But do something that is positive for you more than anybody else. Okay. So thank you, Diane. Robin writes, it came super simple to set up. Made me realize right away just how out of shape I am in my 10-minute inaugural bounce, it was definitely felt in my thighs and calves. And remember, that's the weakest area of circulation in the body, and it's generally, because it's the furthest area from the heart, it's generally where we're going to feel it first. But that area will also adapt faster. Sarah writes, I like that the avatars don't talk. Thank you, Sarah. The whole purpose of this was so that you could be in your own thoughts, so that you could be watching a show on television. It will ding in between each movement, and you're playing in instead of working out. It says, I can listen to my own thoughts, or listen to music, or watch a show without being interrupted by constant coaching. Love that the bell dings between moves, even with the sound off. Thank you, Sarah. You got it. I mean, this is what we do every day. We turn on a show, turn on the app, mute the music, and I'll let the music go tonight when we go through the routine, but we mute the music and it will just ding in between each movement. So you're watching the show, and this is great for kids. Kids want to watch a show? Great. Parents, grandparents, have your kids say, hey, you can watch the show, but you're going to be a Cellercise potato tonight. So they get on or during the day, they get on the Cellerciser, they turn on the app. We have a little superhuman space cadet that kids can do it with. That's an avatar. And while they're watching the show, ding, looks down, then they do the next movement. They're lost in the show, but their body is getting all these benefits, and we want that. So, okay, questions. Where on earth do I source one of these in the UK? Oh, that's from Chris. Chris, I wish I had a way that I could reach the people that really want to help promote this and have the means to promote it internationally, because we have such an international interest. And that's part of our low-hanging fruit right now, is that we need to find people that have the ability to help promote these in different areas of the world. And it's a great opportunity. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody there distributing for us right now, but we do ship worldwide. And they're not light, so the shipping expense is a little up there, but it's just a one-time charge. DJ writes, would you kindly consider making a video about the benefits of laughing while Cellercising? Yes, that's a great idea. And laughing does so much for the body. It is hard, if you're upset, to get on the Cellerciser and to even start faking laughing without feeling better. You feel better. Laughing does so much for the body, especially if you're dealing with an illness, if you're dealing with a challenge. And DJ, thank you. You're so right. I've got a whole list of benefits that occur as a result of laughing. So I'll include those in our next program. And it really is amazing. Annalisa writes, I have the Cellerciser. I have no issues or complaints, but I'm just not sure I'm getting the maximum benefit from it. I'm looking for targeted routines to follow. I've watched the I Jump Instead videos from the twins, but wanted to ask if you have any other recommendations. Annalisa, the Cellerciser, the Mr. Rebounder app. The Mr. Rebounder app has over 45 follow-along routines, but it also has the ability for you to create your own routines. So it has a library of 65 different movements. And you can do just like I did tonight. You can go and take the movements, put the amount of time you want to do each movement based upon what you want to accomplish. And you can create a whole routine and then save it into your own personal library. So that might be really beneficial. And that's on sale right now. The Mr. Rebounder app, normally $89.95, is on sale for $49.95 for a full year. So it's just a little over $4 a month to have access to all these various different routines and to be able to create your own. We made it affordable so that everybody could benefit from it. And that sale is good. We are continuing to put what we can into the app to make it even better and better and better. We have more avatars. We have more programs that we're going to be introducing. Anybody who gets in on the Mr. Rebounder app at the discounted price, you're grandfathered, which means when the cost goes up, yours won't, for as long as you maintain subscription. You were there with us when we when we introduce it and as we continue to expand it. So that's our way of saying thank you. Brittany writes, do you have an affiliate program? Also, I've heard that you can never get the results like that on a bungee trampoline. Is that true? Yeah, the problem with bungee trampolines is that they're too soft. And as they are too soft, and when they get too soft, because rubber bands by nature, they heat up, they cool down. They heat up, they cool down. Every time they do, they lose stretch. They break down. That's the nature of rubber. That's what happens. So as it gets softer and softer and softer, you don't have the resistance. You have to have resistance to get the benefits. I had a lady wrote me a beautiful review in a letter. She said, David, how come I never got the same kind of results on a competitor bungee cord unit? And I could say it because they disparage us all the time. But a bungee cord unit that I do on the Cellerciser. And I tell them, because it was never built. It was never built to create the resistance. It was built to be like a big trampoline for tricks. The only difference is you can't do tricks. It's the Cellerciser, you're moving up and down many more times per minute. It's much more resistant. And you can alter the angle of your body in different positions to create your own body leverage to focus on different muscle groups without being thrown off, because it just lifts you straight up. Those are big differences. Maria writes, I have 6 bulging discs in the lumbar S1 area that is putting pressure on the nerve right hip. Should I give Cellercise a break for a few months or continue to bounce? Bulging discs, that's not unusual. I'm not sure what caused them. Most all of us will have them at one time or another. They can go away. There's a technique that I teach on a Cellerciser where it involves lying down on it. And many of you have seen this. It's in our YouTube channel. If you want to go and look up back health on the Cellerciser, you'll see the technique where you lie somebody down. If you can find somebody that can work with you, where you lie down on the Cellerciser and they gently bounce you up and down, you don't have any of the vertical pressure on the nerve or on the disc. You're laying down horizontally. Everything is a deep massage, not a surface massage. Everything can relax. And then they can rock for a few minutes, they're doing this. Then for a few minutes, they're rocking side to side. So we can loosen up the muscles along the vertebral joints, open up the space, help those discs move back into a better position and take pressure off the nerves. Vicky writes, will rebounding affect or worsen plantar fasciitis? Vicky, everyone I know of who's had plantar fasciitis has benefited from Cellercise. So, and it's an initial adjustment. We wear shoes all the time. We're a society that wears shoes. And when we wear shoes, shoes have some flexibility, but they're more restrictive than if you were barefoot or in our CelliSoles. By the way, I'm wearing these today because I want you to be able to see my feet. We have a better CelliSole. This one's even better, and that's our new one. This is our CelliSole. It's got a little taller support around the ankle. It's got our little logo here. It's got wonderful tread on the bottom. It's extremely flexible because we want the foot to be flexible. When we go out and we do something strenuous, and we've been wearing shoes, especially high heels, or can't wear those too much without eventually potentially having some serious foot problems. But when you go out and you've got something flexible, you help the toes spread out, you help the muscles and the ligaments become more flexible again. But if you go out and do something strenuous when the foot doesn't have that flexibility, then you can tear the fascia. It's very painful because the foot doesn't have the flexibility. So on a Cellerciser, we start doing gentle movements up and down. It can start with our feet both on the mat. We're not even lifting our heels up and down. I'm bending up and down at the knee, pushing down into the mat. Eventually, we can get some movement in the foot and in the fascia. Eventually, we start to lift our heels up and down. And then we start to do the twist. We start to do the movements that causes the fascia to, over time, become more and more flexible, because those cells are always replacing themselves, and it's very common. And we've got some fantastic reviews from our customers on our website under reviews, if you look up plantar fasciitis, and see what their experiences have been. So I encourage people, try it, work on it, it can take a month, for that to get better, but there are people that have suffered with it for years, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and they're grateful. And I'm grateful for them sharing. And we don't make guarantees, we can't do that, and it's not meant to be medical advice, but I can tell you these are techniques that you will see that I teach doctors and health practitioners and physical therapists, and have been doing it for years. Okay, I've heard you mention that Cellercise can assist in getting down a hiatal hernia. Besides health bouncing and bouncing in general, are there other exercises that can assist with this issue? Many thanks. And yes, you can sit down on a Cellerciser, and when you sit down and just tilt backwards a little bit, you can help support the areas that are weak while those muscles are firming up. And as you get stronger, you can lift up one leg, you can lift up another leg, you can do different things to help support that area while those muscles get stronger. Kathy writes, can tennis shoes be worn while exercising on the Cellerciser? And just like I mentioned, Kathy, yes, they can, but I wouldn't recommend it because the shoe is more restrictive in its flexibility, and you want to be able to move around. You want your foot to be able to move around. And often when your foot wants to move around to support your natural alignment, the shoe is being restrictive, then the shoe can actually be more painful wearing it than if you didn't wear it. What can I do for neuropathy? Okay, we're going to talk about foot health in just a moment. Can you please show a closer view or close-up of how you do the face workout to increase collagen? I watched before, but it's not close up, so I'm not sure what to do with my face. Thank you. Okay, Lily, that's a humbling thing. You want to smile with your cheeks, so you can see the cheeks go up. You're not puckering with your mouth. You're smiling with your cheeks. That causes the muscles to firm up. And now when the muscles are firmed up, then you do the bouncing. So you can be bouncing and smiling with your facial muscles. The collagen and the skin around the muscle is firming up around the muscle. So rather than having to have, a facelift or these other things, then those muscles can help strengthen, and that skin can help firm up around that area. PT2 says, can you please show exercises relating to tight calves and tight neck? My neck has been tight for a while and not budging. I got tight calves and lower legs over the weekend, which I'm guessing maybe from wearing heels. Okay. Yeah, tight calves and tight neck. The calves, this moving up and down is going to build up the calves. But as you're moving up and down, the cell membranes are also expanding, contracting. You're not tearing down to build up. This is different. When you tear down, things will get tighter. Yeah, you'll lose flexibility because you're damaging when you're doing weightlifting. It literally is damaging the muscle. So the body, they say do it every other day because the body literally has to patch the tear. And then you tear the patch, and then it patches a patch, and so on and so forth. And we get the big muscles, but they're harder. They lose the flexibility, and you can feel that in different areas of the body. So on Cellercise, you bet you can stretch, you can lean forward a little bit, you can jump, like this, side to side. You can, most all of it's going to increase flexibility, but also strengthen the calf. Now, when you first begin, chances are you're going to notice it in the calf area. Again, that's the weakest area of circulation in the body. And so as the circulation improves, then the calf muscle and the flexibility also and strength also improves. Okay. Can anything to help bunions? Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. All right, I recently got the Whitin shoes, sneakers, that are the barefoot type. And I noticed tiny new reddish vessels around my ankles. They are called telangiectasias, possibly a precursor to varicose veins. Anything to help further prevention? I know it all has to do with blood flow, so hearing your thoughts will help. And initially, if you're jumping too hard or too high, and the circulation and the valves haven't increased in their strength and flexibility and circulation, then that can create more pressure. in that area. So wearing some support socks or ankle support can be helpful initially while you're getting those blood vessels to become more flexible again, and not jumping too high or jarring the body, just allowing the body to adapt. Now, those are generally weaknesses that were already there, you just may not have seen them. And the Cellerciser has been very helpful at exposing weaknesses. It doesn't create them, it's not jarring. There's less jarring on this than walking around on the ground. But, because the springs absorb the jar, not your joints. But if you have weaknesses, then the Cellerciser can expose them, which can be a good thing because then we know what we need to work on to help overcome them. Do you think you could add the Cellercise with Jessica routine to the Mr. Rebounder app? Oh, wow. Okay, Jessica. Many of you have seen her. You rebound with Jessica. She's my oldest daughter, and she did her routine and been followed by thousands of people. And yeah, Cellercise with Jessica is, yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that. She's my adorable daughter who is just doing really, really well. And grew up with Cellercising. So all my kids, all of them grew up with Cellercising, and it's made a huge difference in all of our lives. I wear the so yes, I'll look into that. That's a good idea. I wear the CelliSole shoes while rebounding. Should I not be? Oh no, I wear mine rebounding, Cellercising also. The only things I don't wear them on or for is when I'm doing the kickouts. I just kick them because they grip more. All right, so let's talk about feet and why that is so important. Balance as we're getting older has a lot to do with our feet. Arthritic conditions have a lot to do with the shoes we wear when we're younger and the lack of strength, support, and circulation to the feet. High heels can cause neuromas. They're painful. There's when a nerve between the toes, usually the third and fourth toe, is squished. And so you've got these shoes, and they're all tapered toward the front, and they're squishing the nerves. And they're literally, we have the bones of our feet. We've got over half of our bones in our feet, and they're remodeling themselves all the time. And if we're wearing shoes that are pointed in, then it's going to affect our balance. It can affect the health of our toes. It can affect the circulation to the nerves. So it's so important we have good, strong, healthy, flexible feet. And you know, I think back to the cowboys, and the cowboys who used to sit on the horse, and we think of them as stereotyped as bow-legged, and they're just kind of walking around bow-legged. Well, their legs were bow-legged, but what caused that? Was it because they were sitting on a horse all day long? Well, kind of, sort of, but it's not because their bones bent. It's because as the calcium kept replacing itself and they were on a horse all the time, that the bone structures started to mold around the horse. Same thing's going on in our feet. Depending on the habits that we have, our feet can be compromised. The overall health of our feet can be dramatically compromised. So what do? Well, one of the reasons I have the CelliSoles is that you have a little additional cushion, which is fine, but it has a wide toe box, very wide toe box. We want that. We want the toes to open and spread and be able to spread so that we have good balance and flexible toes and good joints. And when we don't, then we get bunions. You know, you see a toe that actually, instead of going straight out, it's curved this direction. And over time, that puts pressure on the joint of the toe. And that can cause arthritic conditions, can cause the bunions, can cause poor balance in the feet, and we don't feel as good. The foot can't support us as well, and it's compromised, and we don't want that. So I brought some things to share with you that you can do on the Cellerciser, because we're going to be working about how to open up, strengthen the toes. If we're having nerve issues or we have circulation issues in the feet, we want to challenge the foot area a little bit so that we increase the circulation, the strength, and the flexibility, and actually help the foot mold itself more toward what it needs to be to best support our balance. I wear these all day long. I do it because I want good, healthy feet. I want to be able to move and have good balance. And I know it takes time because when I was high school, college, I wore boots all the time. And I felt that. But we all kind of grit our teeth. Wow, that's what we do. We wear them. And that was not a good thing to do. So these are spacers. You can get they're little gel, I don't know if you can see these, they're little gel spacers. You can get them on Amazon. They have all kinds of them. And this is mineral oil and aloe moisture things to put between the toes. And you literally, you put them between the toes to help the toes open up to better support your balance, take the pressure off the nerves, help strengthen the proper alignment so that the toes are strong and support you. Now we're going to do things to help improve flexibility of the toes too. Here's another one that I found. I've never used them, but they're like a toe spacer. So you put them between your toes, and you can bounce up and down, and you can wear them all day long. They're extremely soft, and you know, if you have to take them off, you can take them off. But they're I've actually worn one of these between one of my big toes and little toe because it feels comfortable. And because the boots that I used to wear used to point it that way, I could see, I want to open that up some. And my balance is really good, and I'm grateful for that. I want to keep it that way. But these little guys are very, very comfortable, squishy and comfortable between the toes. So with that in mind, when we Cellercise, and we're going to do this routine for anybody who wants to join us in a few minutes, is as you move up and down, several things I want you to be conscious of. Starting from the foot down, point the feet straight ahead. Want to have the feet and keep them straight ahead. We want to have the knees kind of pushed out just a little bit so that we're feeling the muscle. Instead of having them do this, we're having them do this. See the difference? So we want, because that's going to support and strengthen our ability going up and down stairs, walking, athletic activities. People don't do it. We want to do that. We're not wearing heels. We're flat-footed, so we're strengthening the whole alignment of our feet. We want to have our knees move forward toward the toes. So as we're bouncing up and down, and just bouncing up and down, just holding this position, that's really helpful. It's going to help with hip alignment. It's going to help with alignment all the way at the body. So from this point, we're holding them this direction. We want to start to lift the heels up and down a little bit, but not just lift the heels up and down to move. We want to push down into the mat with the toes. So as you're pushing down into the mat with the toes, lift the heels up and down. What's that doing? Well, it's taking the toes and it's helping to move them up this direction. So you're pushing down, lifting the heel up. You're getting flexibility in the toe. You're pushing down, lifting up. So we're strengthening the actual toe, the toes themselves, as we're pushing down. Now, if you're wearing the spacers between the toes and you're opening them up, now you're helping the ligaments and the tendons develop a more natural alignment within the foot so that they become strong in that natural alignment. And that's going to help with overall foot health. Again, pushing down into the mat with the toes. You'll start to feel that in a little bit, and that's okay. And then you can just not do it quite as much. Now, as you're doing that, remember we also want to have good posture. So as we're moving up and down, we lift our chest high. Lift the chest high. It helps to lengthen all the muscles along the back and in the hip area, the psoas muscle that's really deep. That you can feel that stretch when you lift that chest up, and that's great. Hold that position. You're going to feel that It's wonderful, but it's working from the inside out. Take the shoulders, and since we want good posture, because the skeletal system, as you know, it can't support itself, dependent upon the muscles and ligaments. Take the shoulders and just rotate them back a little bit. As you rotate those shoulders back a little bit, take your chin and pull it in slightly so we can work on the curvature of the neck as well. And as you're doing that and pushing out, it's a lot to remember. So we've got this video, you can get refreshers. But as you're doing that, we make Cellercise and rebounding harder than it needs to be. It doesn't have to be that hard. I don't work nearly as hard as so many people do. And yet my physique and my health is in pretty good shape, and it's all on the Cellerciser. It's all done on this. There's no other, I don't have time for any other activities. This is it. And it's been that way 35 years. So these are techniques that help. When you tighten those muscles, tighten them here, lift up high, you're going to feel the stretch and just kind of keep those shoulders back. So we're going to do some of this in a few minutes, but as you're pushing down, push down with your toes, your big toe especially, but you want to feel that. Now if it hurts a little, don't do it too hard. Be sensitive to it, but we want to warm up the tissue first. So do it gently. We're going to warm up the body, and as we warm up the body, then we can do stretching techniques, and it works. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on the routine. And if I have any questions, if there's any questions.
There's a few on here.
Oh yes, go ahead. Let's answer some questions. And anytime there's a question, just go ahead and raise your hand, and I'll know to come back to big. Thanks, Ken.
Okay, Kelly says, I have 3 Cellercisers. My doctor says it'll cause facial sagging. What should and should I do another exercise? I'm 68. Is this true?
Oh, good. Okay, so she says she's got, what, 2 Cellercisers? 3 Cellercisers. And her doctor says it can promote sagging. Okay, her doctor's wrong. And let me tell you why. Because if you're jarring the body, if you're running on a hard surface, the jarring impact over and over, yes, absolutely, that can tear down those fibers. In fact, and you look at people who have been doing jogging for a long period of time, they're really good. You can see the effect that pounding has had on their face. Cellercise doesn't do that. It doesn't have jarring. It has a G-force. That's different. G-forces apply weight to the cell membrane. Oh, and by the way, the doctor, I said he's wrong. He's not necessarily wrong depending on what kind of unit it is, okay? Because if it's a unit that creates a jarring effect, and there's a lot of them out there that do that, and that may be what he's referring to. So the little tube springs, for example, they stretch a little bit and they stop very abruptly. Cellercise doesn't do that. Cellercise is weight bearing, so the cell membrane has weight against the membrane. And just like the customer reviews that we read, the movement in the G-forces causes the cell to fortify its membrane with more protein. It actually becomes more resistant. It's when it gets weak, it sags. Or when it's jarring and tears those fibers, it breaks down. When, and I mentioned before, when Dr. Kenneth Cooper exposed the world to the whole term aerobics, and everybody's going out and doing a lot of aerobic running on the hard surface, and it was affecting them, and women's breasts were being torn down because there's little protein fibers that run through the breast. The jarring effect was breaking them. Abdominal rings in men were being torn down. The back, the vertebral joints, the knees, accumulatively over time, as Dr. J.E. Schmidt was quoted, jogging can kill you, unquote. Because the impact is what damages the body. Cellercise eliminates the impact, but absolutely has great resistance. What's the next question? Hope that helps.
She also asked, can you tone the triceps and biceps?
Yeah, you can do the triceps and the biceps. I teach a technique on the Mr. Rebounder app, and it's one that I do where you push down and pull up. So I count 1, 2, down, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, down, 2, 2. When I'm pulling up, I'm pushing down, and that works the bicep. But because I'm pushing down, it also works the tricep. So you're getting that benefit as you're doing that movement up and down. It's all done on the Cellerciser. I'm not tearing down to build up. I'm just tightening, toning, and strengthening.
So Melissa, Michelle said, can you go over the different ski patrol moves? What I see on the app is a little different than what I had in mind. I would be ski patrol, the one with move the shoulders.
Oh yes, whippy, we call it whippy ski patrol. Okay, ski patrol, I call it that because it's the same movement that you would do as if you were skiing. And it will, for those who like to ski, it will keep their legs in excellent condition during the off season. And for athletes, it works the lateral knee, both sides of the knee, as well as the hips. So when you're skiing, the ski patrol number one is just to stand there and you're stepping across the unit back and forth like this. So this is just hop, hop. So this is number one. And it's going to work on the hips, the thighs, and both sides of the knee, which is very good, if you're in athletics. Ski patrol number two is when you have your feet together and you're basically, it's a little more intense, you're just headed down the slopes. You can hold on to the bar and not hold on to the bar, but that's here. Now the ski patrol, the whippy ski patrol, which is one of the movements I do every day, is it helps the back, it helps with flexibility, strengthens the knees as well. And that's done when you step, normally you would step side to side this way, but what you're going to do is you're going to use your shoulder. So the direction that you step, your shoulder drops. So if I step to the left, my shoulder drops to the left. And then the right leg comes. When I step to the right, my shoulder drops to the right, my left shoulder lifts up, and I step to the right. And so this whippy ski patrol really pumps the lymphatic system, but it helps to loosen the hips and the vertebral joints in the back as well. So we start off gently, and it's a little more advanced. So you want to do this a little later in Cellercising, where you help to create space between the vertebral joints to the disc and take pressure off the nerves. That's the idea. Now, if you are just starting off, make sure your body's well warmed up before you try to do that, because we don't know how much space you have between the vertebrae and the nerves. And we want them to be, there's other exercises you can do first, like these are all on the Mr. Rebounder app. And this, you just have these movements, and this helps to stretch the muscles. And the movement up and down moves fluid. And then the whippy ski patrol is a little more advanced. And that's just simply doing it like this. So as you're standing there and you're rocking side to side, you're really, you want to think high, lift your chest high. And as you do that, you can feel that stretch. If you have a tight psoas muscle, it helps to loosen the psoas muscle and the hips, but it's really pumping circulation, increasing flexibility in the back.
Okay, someone else has said they're going to use the toe squeezer tomorrow and Cellercise, so they said put the routine on the app.
Oh, good, good, good. All right.
And then Samantha said, I know this has been addressed before, but I really didn't pay attention to the answer because I never had it, but now I do. What exercise can I do for plantars?
What exercise can I do for plantar fasciitis? Yeah, and that's to start off gentle, moving up and down. Warm up the tissue. As we warm up the tissue, the cells are all expanding, contracting. I'm not even lifting my heels up and down. So this is very gentle. You can bend the knee a little bit if you want, push down a little bit more, getting very little movement in the foot. As we get better and we feel better, then the next graduated movement, just gently lift the heel up and down a little bit. And as you gently lift the heel up and down a little bit, you're going to start to work at the supporting arch of the foot and all those muscles and tissue that meet up with the heel. And so it's just gentle moving up and down. And then rocking side to side, that should feel very comfortable, or it will, because this one really starts to take the foot and all the tissue, and it just starts to massage it. You're literally massaging. And one of the neatest things about Cellercise is if you take your fingertips and you grab these muscles up here and you hold on to them with your fingertips and gently move up and down, that pulsating, that weight-bearing activity, that massaging that's occurring is going on from the top of your head down to the bottom of your foot. Who does that? I mean, this is great. Yeah.
I mean, there's just some nice comments if you want to read them.
Oh, thank you. I will. But I appreciate everybody's support. Okay, so we have it ready. We're going to scroll down. We're going to do the wake-up call number 2. Now, it's not on our app yet, but if you want to make notes, you can see what I've done. Are they able to see this? Do you know?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, because you'll see the different movements, and you can always come back when we're done, and this will be posted tomorrow on the YouTube channel. So you can go to the YouTube channel and make a note of these so that you can put it on your own app as well. Okay, so then you don't have to have somebody talking the whole time, which is, I agree. All right, so let's start doing it. We're going to start off with a health bounce for 3 minutes. You say, why 3 minutes? Well, we're going to work on our toes. We want to spread the toes apart. You want to do it barefoot? That's fine. That's actually great. And if you socks, that's great too. Soft sole slippers, that's great. In fact, I think I'll take these off for now. And then when you do that, you want to have your toes just kind of, I don't know if you can see those or not, but you want to spread the toes apart. You can also stop and when you're from pushing down, and then you can lift the toes up. You want to also take the big toe, lift the big toe up, but push the little toes down. You want to start to increase that flexibility and strength, so you can do some of those movements between movements, and then you can curl and then lift up. Again, our whole purpose here is to develop healthier feet. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, good. All right. So this is a warm-up. Now, in the morning, when you wake up, I don't encourage people to stretch. I encourage them Cellercise. First, warm up the tissue. Athletes, same thing. If your ligaments and tendons are tight and your muscles are tight or it's cold and you don't warm them up first, you can actually be doing more damage than benefit. So you want to warm up the tissue. You'll have a better experience with yoga or Pilates or martial arts when the body is warmed up, or dancing, or any number of activities. But so you're pushing down now. Stand tall. If you stand tall, you feel some stretch here. That's great. Hold it. Kind of keep that tight. And then shoulders back a little bit. Pushing down. Feel those toes pushing into the mat. So it's not just the ball of the foot. We're working those toes. We got 2 more minutes of that. That's great. So try to spread the toes apart a little bit while you're bouncing. And you may start to feel that in the ligaments and the tendons and some of the bones. It's not a bad thing, but don't overdo it. And you'll feel it more than likely in the calf muscle as well, and that's okay. That's really important. That's again, that's been called the second heart. We want it pumping, we want it strong, so we have good circulation in the legs. When our legs get weak, then our ability to enjoy life and quality of life is compromised. And that's the first sign of declination in our overall health and quality of life. I love the comment tonight about the 96-year-old and how hey, I want to improve my balance. I love that in health, because we can do that at any age. In 96, I got a great story of a 91-year-old who's on top of a rooftop 3.5 weeks after Cellercising, repairing her own shingles. Another one who was 94 years of age, on her Cellerciser, front cover of Section E of the Seattle Times newspaper, on her Cellerciser, telling how it had just dramatically improved the quality of her life. Another lady who was 95 years of age and jogging on the Cellerciser. Her granddaughter said how it improved her vision. And she was running in place and bouncing on the Cellerciser. Sent me several pictures of it. It was wonderful. Okay, so we're almost done with this one. And that's warming up the tissue throughout the entire body. Okay, now the neck. We had a question about the neck. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're doing little circular motions. In between the, you can tilt a little bit. We want to move fluid between the vertebral joints in the neck. You're doing these little circular motions as you work on the vertebrae. It's a massage, but the difference is that every cell is moving up and down. You're moving fluid. And as you're moving fluid, you're helping to push that fluid in between the neck. Now, if you've noticed one area that's a little tighter than the others, work on that for a few moments. And kind of push up a little bit on the skull where it meets with the atlas there, and just kind of push into that area. It might be sensitive for some of you because it can build up a lot of pressure, and people can have headaches and whatnot from that as well. So we're releasing the stress and the tension, but it takes a little bit of time, and we're giving it some time so that we can work those muscles and ligaments in the neck. And this is a wake-up call. This is a great way to begin the day. We want good neck flexibility. Now, there's other neck movements that I teach on the Mr. Rebounder app, and they're also good, but we're just going to be doing some good basic ones for a wake-up call more than for addressing specific issues. And you can actually take, if you want, and just kind of push on the vertebrae a little bit one direction, a little bit the other direction. Just gently so that we can increase the flexibility. Okay, hip rock. As we're doing the hip rock, we're moving our shoulders up and down. It's going to start to loosen up our shoulders. But it's also working the back, the vertebral joints, the hips. And again, just kind of lift. If you lift that chest high and tighten the core, you're going to get a huge benefit through the whole movement. You know, we have people that this is the kind of thing they do. This is all they do. And they're in great condition. They're in great shape, and they enjoy life. They're not doing anything crazy, but they have great benefits. I think I mentioned when I first started Cellercising that everything started to change, and I was nervous because it was too easy. I wasn't working as hard as all these other people were, and I was getting all these benefits. And I think that's why I coined the phrase, why work out when you can play in? Have fun. The cells are working. They don't care where weight comes from. They don't care how sophisticated a piece of exercise equipment is. You challenge the cell on the cell membrane. The cell responds by fortifying its membrane. When I'm moving up and down and I'm pumping the lymphatic system and I'm loosening up the back, this is a great activity to begin the day with. And it doesn't really take that long. This is just a little over 15 minutes, the whole thing. And we've got another one that we call the wake-up call number 1. It's just 5 minutes. But okay, lift the chest up high again. And as we're twisting, now we're warming up the internal parts of the body, our colon, our intestines. We're putting them through a little washing machine effect. Those are the smooth muscles. Most exercises never even deal with it. We're moving up and down, all the liver, the kidney, the spleen, the gallbladder, the pancreas. All those internal organs are moving up and down, and we're twisting side to side. It's a massage, so you probably want to drink lots of water. In fact, when you're done with this, you should drink water. When people go through massage therapy, they'll go through a massage course, they'll tell them to drink lots of water. Why? Because they released heavy metals, toxins, poisons, preservatives, chemicals. They're helping to flush out. That's what Cellercise does automatically. It's working at the cellular level. So you want to drink lots of water and make it easier for the body to get rid of the foreign particulates. Now you can move your arms up higher too. So again, we're working the shoulders here a little bit. We're working the upper back as well. And when you start off, you literally start off every day with something like this, you're going to enjoy a better quality, a better day. And when you start off, remember, think of positive thought. Think of some good things that you can share or send out to other people. It sets the stage for you. It comes back to you. Okay, 10 seconds to go. But this is such a short period of time considering we got the whole rest of the day. All right, so now shoulders. So we have our elbows out in front. We're gonna work on the rotator cuff. And you can feel, if you put your fingers on these muscles, you're gonna feel a huge dynamic. Those muscles are really being massaged at the cellular level. Muscles and ligaments, and so stick it up over your head and just bounce it for a few moments. And if you have problems, you can help support. If one shoulder's being challenged, you can hold it with the other hand and just stretch it to where you feel comfortable. And out to the side. And we've helped lots of people who've gone through physical therapy or who've had shoulder surgery or shoulder problems. Benefit from this simple move right here. How are your feet positioned? Are they right position, straightforward? I'll show you another technique in a minute, but for this purpose, we got our feet pointing straight ahead. You can actually increase flexibility in the foot as well by going ahead and turning the feet out a little bit and bouncing for a few moments, and then toward each other a little bit. So you can work like this. It increases some of the stretch along the calf muscle and the outer side of the foot. You can bounce like that for a few moments and then put it forward. Okay, so we're doing shoulder crunches. So forward, I think. It's hard to tell. Okay, yep, and now back. And then forward again. And you want to kind of feel that stretch in the scapular area as well, and between the shoulder blades and the shoulders, and out to the side. And you could do the same thing with your feet. You could turn your feet out for a few moments while you're doing it, and when you do it forward, you turn the feet in this way. Okay, so now we've warmed up the tissue. Now we can stretch a little bit, so we can stretch the shoulder. And then the other side. The neat thing about the Rebounder app is I could mute the music, watch a show, and it just dings in between each movement. So I look, see the next movement, watch the show. It's what we do. You try this in the morning and see how you feel the rest of the day. And then when you don't do it, see how you feel the rest of the day. I notice a difference. And the best thing, if you can't do it in the morning, then yes, do it at night. But if you can do it in the morning, it's better. It's the wake-up call. And you're less likely to get injured. and tighten your core. Okay, upper. Three, two, one. Okay. Now get some stretch in those arms. If you can only come up to here, that's okay. These are graduated movements. Sometimes we don't know the condition of our shoulders until we start doing some of these movements. Boy, he's fast. I was wearing a bodysuit when I first started doing these movements. Had all these electrodes all over me. Now the technology has come much further, and so we're going to be doing some new movements, and it'll be even better. Okay, so loosening up that back a little bit more, working again on those smooth muscles in the hip area. People that have sciatic issues, keep the waist straight ahead now and start just working the hip joint area and all these muscles. "15 seconds. This is the second most important movement that I teach that we can do on the Cellerciser. Power breathing. When you first start doing that, you may feel like your bronchial tubes are a little sensitive or a little wheezy. That's not unusual. Don't overdo it because it might be sensitive, but you'll also notice for those who like to sing, your singing voice more than likely will be better too. But over time, it helps to open up those bronchial tubes in the lungs, and debatable, but that's definitely one of the top 5 movements I think we can do, is to get to the other 1/3 of the lung. Because most people don't get enough oxygen to it. Most all of us are more shallow breathers. This gets deeper, pumps the lymph system, increases oxygen in the bloodstream. And you're challenging balance and equilibrium the whole time you're doing it. And if you hold on to the bar, that's fine. All right. Congratulations. Thank you for doing it with me. Have a great week. Yeah, another question? Sure.
Brittany said, could you tell us the difference between springs and bungee trampoline?
Yeah, most of you know, but bungee cords are rubber bands. They warm up. As they warm up, they break down every time they warm up. They also, when they warm up, they become more sluggish. They don't have the same kind of lift or resistance. They're much slower. Cellerciser uses a tridaptable spring. It's a patented technology. It has a larger diameter in the spring. It has a ridge where it tapers, and then another ridge where it tapers again. And those ridges help to focus weight just to the center of the spring. So if you're only 30 pounds, you're going to utilize the center portion of the spring the most. If you're 400 pounds, you're going to utilize more of the whole spring. But the whole purpose is to allow you to decelerate and then accelerate without ever coming to an abrupt stop or jar. You have more resistance. You're moving up and down many more times per minute on a Cellerciser. So we have people that they tell us all the time, that when they use the Cellerciser, they get muscles. They feel them getting stronger, whereas they don't with the bungee cord unit. It's not the same at all. So I'm not trying to disparage them. It's fun to jump. Guys, we like to jump. Jumping is important. The Cellerciser is built for fitness, not for tricks. Bungee cord units were designed to emulate a big trampoline. Big trampolines you can do tricks on though. Cellerciser, you don't. Cellerciser is fitness, but a Cellerciser you can leverage your body weight. If I want to really work the core here in the stomach, I can tilt backwards and kick my legs out. If you try to do that on a bungee cord unit, you won't feel very supported, very secure. For the waist and the hips, I'm creating leverage. You're not jumping high on a Cellerciser. The purpose is so that the lymphatic system is pumping much more efficiently, many more times per minute, that the cells are flexing many more times per minute, that the resistance is causing the fascia and the connective tissues to grow stronger. So you don't have to jump high. Jumping high is fun, but you're just floating. Your cells aren't doing anything. And it's fun to float. You can jump high on a Cellerciser, but the benefit is being closer to the mat. That's where the intensity is greater, and that's where you get more benefits. Any other questions? Or all right, thank you. Again, if you feel anything that we said today was beneficial, might be able to help some others, we'd love for you to share it. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. I'm on the phone Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Mountain Standard Time, and the whole objective, why I do this, to help you get results, to enjoy the benefits so that you can enjoy a better quality of life as well. So thank you. Be well. Remember, we don't need to work out when we can play in. And I hope you have a joyous week, and we'll see you again in a couple weeks. Thank you.